When Mia Carter walked into the high school gym that Friday morning, she didn't know her life was about to be split in two before the gym and after. Known by most as the quiet girl in glasses, Mia was the kind of student who melted into the background. She never raised her hand, never sat up front, and never talked much, unless it was to whisper a question to a teacher after class. But there was something else about Mia, something no one ever took the time to notice. Beneath her silence was fire. She just didn't know it yet. Mia's world of silence. Mia had grown used to solitude. Raised by a single father who worked double shifts as a mechanic, she spent most evenings alone, her only companions. The books she devoured, and the martial arts videos she studied obsessively online. Her mom, a karate instructor, had passed away when Mia was just 8. What she had left of her was a dusty white belt, a faded photo, and a half-finished basement dojo, where Mia spent hours perfecting silent kicks and smooth movements, mimicking YouTube tutorials under the hum of a flickering bulb. But at school, Mia was invisible. Invisible to the teachers who barely noticed her unless she aced a test. Invisible to classmates who thought quiet meant weak, and especially invisible to the popular crowd, the ones who ruled the cafeteria like royalty. Until one day, she wasn't. The promposal that wasn't at was supposed to be a moment of courage. Mia had spent a week preparing. She knew it was out of character. But she had developed a quiet crush on Tyler Hughes, the track star, with the easy smile who once helped her pick up her spilled books. For a split second, she thought maybe, just maybe, he was different. So she printed a small card, tucked a single red rose into her bag, and waited by the lockers. Her hands were shaking, her breath shallow. She stepped forward and whispered his name. "Hey, Tyler. I was wondering if you'd maybe like to go to prom." He looked at her, and then he laughed. So did his friends. But it didn't end there. By the end of third period, the gym was filled with whispers, TikToks, and memes. Mia's trembling voice dubbed over clips of awkward cartoon characters asking out their crushes. And in the middle of it all were Brianna and Lexi, two of the most popular girls in school, who took it upon themselves to turn cruelty into a sport. The humiliation gym class. Friday morning, the place where sweat and insecurity met under harsh fluorescent lights. Mia tried to stay in the back as usual. But Brianna had other plans. As the class lined up for dodgeball, Brianna sauntered over with Lexi behind her, smirking like they were on a reality show. Without warning, Brianna stepped behind Mia, grabbed her shoulder, and with a swift yank, ripped the back of Mia's shirt clean open. The laughter echoed like thunder. Phone cameras went up. Mia's face turned crimson, but something broke in her not. Her spirit, her silence, in that second. The shy girl who kept her head down finally looked up, and that's when it happened. The kick that changed everything. Mia stepped forward, turned on the ball of her foot like she'd practiced 1,000 times in the basement dojo, with a breath sharper than any insult. Delivered a roundhouse kick that spun the air like lightning. The kick landed clean across Brianna's arm, knocking her to the ground. More shocked than hurt, the gym fell silent. Phones dropped. Even the coach stood frozen. Mia didn't yell. She didn't run. She just stood there, chest heaving, eyes locked. And for the first time, the world saw her not the shy girl, but the fighter. The aftermath. Mia was sent to the office. Of course she was. Violence, after all, was against school policies, even if it was self-defense. But something unexpected happened. Tyler came forward first. He told the principal what really happened. Then, another student, who had filmed the bullying, submitted the clip, and by Monday, the school board had suspended Brianna and Lexi for harassment. As for Mia, she was given the chance to speak at the next school assembly. Her voice shook as she stood on stage, in front of the whole gym. But she said something no one would forget. Greater than I didn't speak because I was scared. But silence doesn't mean weakness. Kindness doesn't mean you get to be a target. The applause was deafening. 1 month later, Mia didn't go to prom with Tyler. She didn't need to. Instead, She walked into the dance with her head held high, her father beside her, both wearing matching karate pins in memory of her mom. Dress was simple, elegant and untouched by cruel hands. She spent most of the night dancing with new friends. People who came up to her after the assembly, people who told her she'd inspired them to stand up. To Mia wasn't invisible anymore. The message there? A moment in every person's life when they realize their voice matters. If it shakes, even if it's soft. Mia's roundhouse kick didn't just knock down a bully. It woke her up. So to every quiet soul out there, your silence is not your weakness. It's your strength waiting for the right moment. And when that moment comes, let the world hear you roar. Let me know if you want the thumbnail lines. Description or